Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. Welcome back. You're getting a sweeping view now of the other side of my greenhouse. That is showing you my spoon tomatoes in here, which are coming along nicely. They're actually ready to pick. They're only the size of currants. So usually what happens is we just snack along those once we're in here sort of weeding or doing what we need to do. But take a look at the size of the blackberries now in the greenhouse. Let me just move on through here. This is a prime arc blackberry that is not supposed to actually be for our region in zone 3. But take a look at the size of the blackberries. Let's pull this off. Check that out. So you can see here I've got a little bit of trimming work to do. This one's actually growing out right onto the floor. But the blackberries are amazing. I just can't believe it. I've never had blackberries this big. Check that out. These never make it back to the house either. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to be in here picking, and I'm going to go around the greenhouse and show you exactly what we're going to be cleaning up today and what we're going to be harvesting. Let's take a look. So here, the rest of the greenhouse is doing amazing. It's about 80 degrees in here right now as I've just turned the fans off, so the temperature is going to start to shoot up. But you can see here my sunflowers way over there are now beginning to nod, so I'll be able to save the seed off of those sooner than later. We've also got all the herbs here down at the bottom, and what they're doing is they're all starting to go to seed. I've also got to start collecting some of my coriander because that's gone to seed as well. And then we've got our mini sunflowers here that have nodded, and the head is now beginning to turn brown. So pretty soon I'll be able to actually collect the seed that's actually in here. And if you can look really closely, you can see that there are sunflower seeds in there. So we'll be just using those as seed, as in seed to beautify the property, not necessarily something that I'm going to eat. My horseradish. So you guys know I'm going to have to do a horseradish video because we're going to have to put that up on the store soon and get a lot of this out of here. I definitely will not be using all of this horseradish root. It's almost impossible. So we'll be doing a video on this. It's kind of taken over the back side of the bed, so that's okay. We can use some to make some sauce, but we're definitely going to get rid of some of these roots and put them up on the store. I've still got climbing beans that are doing amazing. See here, they've begun to flower way up onto the trellis. It's actually taken over the trellis. And so now I'm just waiting for them to give me some beans. Way down on the floor here, what's still developing, if I can get down here for you, is we've got honeydew and a big weed. Let me move that out of the way. So the honeydew is actually fallen off. It's this little tiny baseball of a honeydew. So that'll be something that I can take out now and we can try later. The other one is way over there. And that one is still attached. So I think what we'll do is we'll try to slice this one open and see what it looks like inside. They're not supposed to be very big. They're just supposed to be a single serving size honeydew. So it's looking a little yellow, but that's okay. That's what we're doing. We try things at Not a Real Farm just to see how they come out. It's a little bit, I don't know. I can actually squish on it a little bit, so it might be good to eat, but we'll try that later. Let's move on. Okay, so let's take a look at our fig tree in here. You can see, now you can really see the figs starting to come in here. Let me just move my hand out of the way. Here's the figs. So we've got some nice figs happening. I think those are the only two so far that have really developed, but that's okay. I'll take them. I'll take the 2 figs. I've never actually grown fig trees before, so it's a great experiment for me. And we're going to turn you around to the tomatoes, but I got to start way up here. I got to start all the way up here. So let's turn around here and I'll show you what's been happening. So here are I'll show you an Italian tomato that if you leave them actually on the vine, they can survive and you can have fresh tomatoes into the winter, at least 4 months. There's a very low water content in these particular tomatoes. They're a Vesuvio tomato. And you'll see these tomatoes hung up in Italian kitchens everywhere because they last a very long time due to the low water content. So we'll be saving the seeds from these and putting them up in our store as well. I'm going to be interested in also clipping off an entire vine of these and hanging it up like I see them in the kitchens and seeing if they do last here in zone 3 through the winter time. So we'll be doing that experiment. Here is my delicious tomatoes. So I've got lots and lots of these delicious tomatoes. We've already begun to save the seed from these beefsteaks. They are amazing. Let's just pick some of these. If I can get this off here. It's huge. It's bigger than my hand, actually. There we go. Check that out. So you can see here, this compared to my hand, the size of the tomato. So one slice of these are going to actually cover the sandwich, guys. It's amazing. When they told me that these tomatoes get a pound or over, I didn't believe them, but we did do a video, I believe, where I weighed one of these. So it'll be interesting to see how much this one weighs. What I've done is I've set the scale to 0. Let's see how much my delicious tomato weighs today. So I'm just going to place it on here, drop it. What does that say? 1 pound, 2.8 ounces. Wow. Awesome. So this is going to be a great sandwich tomato. I'm thinking this is all I really need tonight for us to make tomato sandwiches. So these tomatoes get big. If you ever get a hold of some seed, make some room because these are going to be massive when you try to grow them. So in here, you can't go wrong, of course, with looking at your celebrity hybrids. These ones never let you down. But they're a hybrid, so I can't save the seed, but we definitely can use them for sandwiches. They've been producing all summer long, so those are definitely reliable. Out in front here, you can see that the eggplant flowers are now beginning to fall off. And I'm beginning to now get eggplant, which is starting way up in there. You can see it. This eggplant has thorns. Boy, does it hurt when you hit your finger. Whew. Peppers all have nice, beautiful blossoms on them, and I'm now beginning to get peppers. As a matter of fact, I've got one here. Let's move on down the line here. I'm going to try and move a little slower so that the camera doesn't look like it's blurring out here. Okay, so we've got more peppers that are developing. This is going to be a hot pepper. Now we've got to fix this because what's happened now is this has become so heavy that it's toppled over. So I'm actually going to trim this branch off. But you can see here, these are my Sartre Rollo-S tomatoes. You can see how beautiful these are with the yellow and the purple. The temperature has actually evened out a little bit now in the greenhouse to allow these to show off their beautiful yellow and purple colors. So super happy with that. And as a matter of fact, they've begun to develop down here too. So we will have to harvest these. Let's see. Because you don't want them hanging on the ground too long. Isn't that beautiful? So we'll be doing some trimming, weeding, getting a lot of this stuff done. These are the ones that I said that are really good in salsa. So they have a little bit of a tart flavor to them, but they give your salsa a zip. So I'm super happy about growing these, and we're going to be saving the seed from these too. Moving on down the line. So these are a Redorta tomato, and the Redorta tomatoes are another type of paste tomato, almost like an Amish paste. You can see how big these are. So we will be keeping the seed from these paste tomatoes. I'm happy with that. They are beautiful. And then, of course, down here in front, we have the banana peppers that are starting. I'm thinking of doing maybe pickled peppers. We'll see how that goes. We've got our elephant ear peppers that are beginning on this bush. And then if I bend down far enough here, you can see that the elephant ear is also here. It hasn't necessarily turned, move this out of the way, red yet. But you can see the elephant ear. They're basically called elephant ears because they're the shape of an elephant ear, I guess. But just waiting for these to turn red. There's also another one up here. So they're a fair size pepper, and I believe, from my opinion, that they're very sweet. So if you're into grilling your actual peppers, or you're into having them in sandwiches, or you're into putting them in pasta or anything like that, these are really great to put in. So grilled, absolutely wonderful. So all of my sweetie tomatoes are sort of up here, almost like a tree. As you can see here, they sort of go up over, and they're looking for the sun. So they've gone now beyond my shade here. But aren't they beautiful? I mean, I have been picking these all week, and they are fantastic. They are one of the sweetest cherry tomatoes I think I've ever tried. Really happy with those. Another superstar of the garden that I don't really talk about a whole bunch is called Queen of the Night. So the Queen of the Night is a tomato. You can see here it starts out, it does its striping, it's beautiful, and then all of a sudden what you'll get is these nice sort of medium-sized saladette tomatoes that kind of come out with this sort of striping. Awesome tasting, really fun in a salad. And if you're looking at trying and growing something different, you get tired of growing the same old tomatoes, give these a try because they're super easy to grow and they don't require a lot of attention, but they do load up. You can see here they're a medium saladette tomato, but they give you tons and tons of tomatoes, and it's not even done yet. You can see on the top here, it's still giving me tomatoes, so we'll have to actually pick that today. But wonderful tasting, really interesting to look at. This one's cool too. Check out that. Isn't that awesome? So we're going to be saving the seeds from these two and putting them up in the store. So lots of harvesting we got to get done today. Down in here, we've got our pineapple ground cherries. So I see here, way down in here, what'll happen with a ground cherry, if you've ever tried growing them, is once they're ready, they will drop their fruit to the ground. I actually have quite a few in here. And this ground cherry is kind of cool. It comes out like a greenish yellow. See what the other one looks like here. And eventually, oops, I dropped it down here. If you leave it, it will turn a beautiful sort of light yellow. And these ones that I'm growing, I grew these last year and they were a favorite in the house. They taste like pineapple. So this is a pineapple ground cherry and very small seeds, but one seed, I think I was showing you in springtime, one of the videos where one seed actually holds over 50 seeds in here. I'm going to say as much as almost 80 seeds in this one little tiny berry. The seeds are so small that they don't bother you when you're chewing it, but you can get your entire summer's worth of berries out of this one berry. So one berry will carry you for an entire summer's worth of plants. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. So if you're interested in trying something different, try and grow the pineapple ground cherry. Super easy to grow, low maintenance, and really, really tasty. They do taste like pineapple. It's amazing. So guys, that's it for me today. Here I am back in the blackberry patch. I'm going to be picking more blackberries and collecting more seed for the tomatoes. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you have any questions, please pop them below or contact me at notarealfarm@yahoo.com or visit our Etsy store at notarealfarm.etsy.com. See you soon.